Hey, how's it going? Pete here, founder of ReleaseLoop. ReleaseLoop is a way to project manage your record label or your artist. There's no real tool to help you do this. When I used to run a record label, this was going back 10 years ago, it used to just be spreadsheets. It was pretty chaotic. Every catalogue was listed down in your spreadsheet. You would try and do your royalties in your spreadsheet. It was just a mess because tools didn't exist. So I'm now building what I wish I had when I was 20, launching my first record label. So this is ReleaseLoop here, and everything can be project managed inside. It's all custom built for the music industry. So it's very tailored. If you're not in the music industry, it's completely irrelevant to you. So you can start off by going to artists, and then you can add an artist. Say you're working with, I don't know, Jay-Z. You can do a search for Jay-Z. And here is Jay-Z here with 11 million followers. And then also related to Jay-Z is Kanye and so on. So you would choose Jay-Z, and you can add Jay-Z's real details. So you would add his full legal name and his email address. So maybe that's Jay-Z at jayz.com. I've no idea. I'm just making this up. Here's location. Say he's in New York. And then you can add his Instagram, his rights and publishing details. So maybe we've got an IPI of 123456789, ISNI, pro affiliation, maybe he is BMI, and then a publisher. You self-publish it, so we'll call it Jay-Z. And then you can create an artist. So you can see here, we got Jay-Z. He's got 11 million followers. He's in New York, and he's a primary artist, which is exactly kind of what we want. Now Jay-Z's in the platform, we can start building things out. So you can see his discovery here. He's got no releases yet, but we can import from Spotify. We can have a look. Maybe we just want to select his latest release, and we can import that into ReleaseLoop here. So in my lifetime, looks like it came out on July 26th, and it's released. You can see here. So he's now got discovery of 1. So you imagine here you've got your artist, and then you can just import their catalogue straight away. But the good thing is with this, we can start doing things inside the release. So you can see I've got all of the metadata here. I've got the radio edit and this track here. There's no audio because it's not the purpose of ReleaseLoop is to project manage. We've got the ISRC, we've got the track lengths, and then we can add track artists. So Jay-Z is already a primary artist, but maybe, I don't know, perhaps as a producer or a performer, and you can add them down in the credits like this, like you would do on your usual splits. And then maybe we are still working with Jay-Z's release in my lifetime, and we can add a task. So the task would be to continue marketing. And this task is related to his release. That's what we're working on right now. And you can put the phase, so marketing, and maybe the due date is going to be tomorrow. We need to get this done. And the assignee is going to be me, and it's a required task. I must complete it. Perhaps under marketing, we need to do, I don't know, send our work to press, and then we need to book Jay into a PR session. I'm just making these up. So now under tasks, we have continue marketing. If we click the little pill, you can see the subtasks that we need to do. If we go to tasks here, you can see the task comes up for Jay-Z, and we can go through and start completing that. So everything starts to be a spider web and all linked together. So now if we go to artists and we go to tasks, we can then add an artist per task, and you can do the same again. So the idea is that if you're doing a task for an artist or a task for a release, you can build that in the separate different places inside ReleaseLoop to keep you very organized. Under contacts, you might have a press contact, like maybe his name is Bob and his second name is Doe, and his email address is bob@doe.com. And we can got a phone number here. And the company he works for is Bob Doe. He's a self-employed journalist. We can add in journalist here, and he comes under press category. The relationship is new with Bob. We've not really worked with him very much. I'm going to keep that as new. And he works with hip hop. So we can add a genre here. And the platforms he writes on is x.com. He's got a big audience on Twitter. And if we go to Twitter, and then we can just, his name's going to be Bob Doe, like that. We can add the contact here. Well, I've done an invalid URL. I'll leave that blank for now. And so we've got Bob Doe. And now we can click in Bob Doe, and we can do an interaction history. So maybe we are pitching, and we want to pitch Jay's release. So we've got Jay-Z. And the outcome here is pending. We haven't done anything yet, and the release is going to be in my lifetime. So we're working with Jay-Z in my lifetime, and the pitch is going to be, let's have a look, sent Bob, and then we can log an interaction here. So you can see the interaction history here. We've sent Bob this press campaign. Now, if we were to edit, and maybe Bob actually said, yeah, I'm going to cover it, and we save changes, you can see we've had one interaction with Bob with 100% success rate, and we last contacted him less than a minute ago. So this is a timeline, and you can see the linked release here. Under calendar, we can start planning things out. So you can see we had a release by Jay-Z in my lifetime, 26th, which was a few days ago now. And then the goal for the 6th, which is tomorrow, is to continue marketing. And you can see it's linked back to this release here. So everything starts to become a little web, and is to keep you really organized without having to use tools like Asana or Slack and things like that. Inside the artist, you've also got the support. And this is where Bob Doe comes back in. You can see here. So now we can see Bob Doe. We pitched him. It was a success. And then the notes were, we sent Bob a press campaign for a feature. And then you can edit things like that and, start filling out a little bit more. Under overview, we can start see the rights. And then we've got stats. Total discovery is 1 because we've only imported one release. If we were to import another release, it would be 2, and so on. Under royalties, you can import your royalties from your distributor. So this works if you set up your artist with the correct release. If you assign your UPC and ISRC, you can start to formulate your royalties. So you would import and it would match on your release. And then you can divvy out the splits and show you what you need to pay your different artists and your labels and your producers and things like that. So that's an overview of ReleaseLoop and how to keep you organized. It's currently being used by artist management teams, record labels. We've currently got an artist management team. They've got something like 200 artists and a team of 10, and they're looking at bringing another other team of 10 in. So it's a huge artist management company. So if you are within that remit, feel free to start a free trial and reach out if you need any help.